So, today, we're doing a little kirtan here in the morning, and I asked Brendan what should we talk about, and he suggested letting go. So I think that's a cool one. That's a good one. Unlike usual, when my mind gets lots of different ideas, I was a little bit unsure how to roll with that one, but we'll do our best. Maybe we'll make it a little bit interactive also. The first thing that popped in my brain, letting go. Letting go is the subject of the day. At least we'll try that one for a few minutes. Before we get into what the Vedas have to say, I remember my friend Prema, we were putting on Yoga Expo, and that was I don't know if you've ever done one of those jobs where you agree to do something and then you realize, oh man, this is going to be a lot of work. And it's like 7 or 8 months, 7 days a week, all day, every day, a lot of pressure, that kind of thing. And he told me at one point, he said, hey Madreya, we were doing a yoga class together, just the two of us, hanging out, and he said, you know what it is? It's not allowing your circle of concern to go past your circle of influence. If there is you can imagine like a circle of things in our life that we can have some significant control over, in the end, even the most, even things that are generally able to be controlled by us can be removed from our capacity at any time. Even keeping alive can be taken away from us. So there's a very real element of not having control in this world. And that's something that every living entity must come to terms with. Or doesn't have to, but if you don't, it can create anxiety, and you don't know what's going to happen when you have no stability, no security. It can be stressful. And this is also a little bit of a tricky one. It's one of those ones where it's not 100% black or white. There's kind of a balance to it. Because after all, we do try to control many things in our environment, and we should. And at the same time, keep in mind that many things are out of our control. So he was talking to me like that. And I started to consider some of the things that were stressing me out. And basically, they were what other people were doing. I was trying to, we were involving all the major yoga schools and all these different big companies, and they were paying us thousands of dollars to come to our Yoga Expo. And it was just the two of us in a room. There was no bank account to turn to. There was nobody to show us how to do it. It was the biggest yoga event in the Southern Hemisphere, but neither Prem or I had ever put on any event before, as far as I know. So it was it was ambitious, and he just reminded me that day, pull your circle of concern. If you're having anxiety about anything, and it's just something that we can't control, then why not just let it go? Because after all, it's not in our control. Sometimes you have some relationship trouble. Maybe you did right by a person, but they misunderstood it and they took it the wrong way, and now they're offended, and you tried going to them and apologizing and trying to work it out, but they won't have it. And that creates a kind of thing between you and your friend or whoever it is, a kind of background tension, anxiety there. But if you really can't control it, if you've really done whatever you can do, then let it go. After all, what's the point? Or another common one is anything in the past, because we definitely can't control that. Something disturbs us, somebody betrayed us, somebody hurt us, somebody broke our expectation. Okay, it happened, but we may as well not suffer more. May as well, what's gone is gone. Let it go. That little verse there speaks about non-proprietorship. And what we'll do now is we'll actually wander back about 7,000 years ago, and we'll take a little glimpse into a conversation that happens between a king and a mendicant. A mendicant is like, you see a lot of them in India even now. They sort of give up all worldly sort of duties, and maybe they live in a cave, maybe they just wander. Whatever they do, they sort of give up normal duties in life, house and job and family and all that kind of stuff. And at least the idea, there's many cheaters also who go around with a begging bowl because they don't feel like working a real job. But but there's also many sincere mendicants in the world, certainly in India. And the idea is that, given up all worldly duties, they are able to get all their pleasure, all their happiness, all their satisfaction from within. And therefore it frees them. It allows them to let it all go. It frees them from all social entanglements and all sorts of different anxieties and stresses of the world. Of course, if you try to do that immaturely on the spiritual path, you'll find that you'll maybe go out into the forest or try to do that, but then you're always being disturbed because you want romance and you want good food and you want a warm bed and you want so many things. But you do see in mature spiritual practitioners, practically, like if you look at, say, Buddha, or you look at Jesus, or you look at many of the great saints and sages of India, like the Goswamis, or so many, somehow or other, without engaging in the world, and even fasting for many days at a time, or living in very harsh environments, or whatever, they remain happy and peaceful. So this is their external symptom of what is going on internally. Internally, somehow or other, like Socrates also, he was famous for just walking around barefoot with nothing and being totally free, not being bound by anyone. No way to pay a person like that off, no way to bribe them, because they don't need any of that. They've actually let it all go, and they're somehow getting their happiness from within. So this is ubiquitous amongst the great wisdom traditions of the world, and I think it's generally accepted amongst just anyone, that if you're very attached, no, I need more money, no, I need this, no, I need that, no, most important thing to me is something material, then I think normal people, they understand, okay, that person may not be so spiritually advanced, even if they have the title priest or this or that or whatever, priest, minister, bishop, whatever it is. What do they call it? Like a Brahmin or something like that. Anyway, this detachment, somehow or other on the spiritual path, it seems possible, it seems essential that one gradually, somehow, connects to a source of pleasure within that is so fulfilling and so rich and so wonderful that then one becomes totally free from any external entanglements, and therefore can choose to go one of two ways. Either in Sanskrit they call it Gosthyanandi, Bhajananandi. Either they can just remove themselves from society altogether and go live like a Naga Baba. I don't know if you know what the Naga Babas are. There's these wandering gentlemen in India. They go around naked and they carry tridents and they're pretty hardcore. And they live like in the Himalayan snow and they're hardcore. They're famous for doing things like levitating and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, you can either go like a Bhajananandi, you sort of remove yourself from normal society, go stay in a cave or go wander in some lonely place or go and meditate in the forest somewhere. And this is being done by so many millions of people over the annals of history. Or, even higher than that, is considered the Gosthyanandi path, which means you actually now being free, not having any needs and pushing on you to get fame or prestige or the best boyfriend or girlfriend I can find or money or whatever. Being freed of all that, one then dedicates one's life to the service of others. And that is considered the highest path. There's also in the Buddhist tradition, Mahayana Buddhism. Mahayana Buddhism is the big winner in Buddhism. After Buddha, there was there was 18 schools, at least 18 schools, main schools of Buddhism, and they had quite varying differing views. There was quite a lot of variety there, and especially as it spread out. Like if you look at Buddhism in Tibet compared with Buddhism in Japan, it got quite different. But the big winner in the sense of how many people are involved is Mahayana Buddhism, Great Wheel Buddhism. I don't know what that means. That's about 85% of modern living Buddhists are Mahayana Buddhists. And their highest thing is to be a bodhisattva. Anybody ever heard that word before? It means that you neglect even the enjoyments that you can get spiritually, even trying to go back to some sort of pure heaven, or they have different ideas like that. Instead of that, just dedicate your life to the service of others. And paradoxically, the highest happiness, even for that soul, is there. Anyway, so many ideas like that.